Welcome back, everybody. Today I am so excited to share my brand new HexaLove Stitches Topper Applique collection. A fun and colorful patchwork project full of charm and details. We'll begin the instructions using the jumbo hoop, and then I'll show you how to make it with a regular embroidery hoop too. No matter your hoop size, you are all set to join the fun. And stick around until the end because we got a new sweepstake as well, so you don't want to miss. Like I said before, we're going to start with the jumbo hoop first, and then we're going to jump to the regular hoop instructions. Hoop 2 layers of tearaway stabilizer in your jumbo hoop and open the first embroidery file, and then run the first spool color over the stabilizer. We're going to cover the entire jumbo hoop area with 2 layers of cotton batting. Why 2? Because this topper is nice and big, and the extra layer of batting add that soft cushy finish we love. In the video, you'll see that I used 2 separate pieces of batting because I'm working with leftovers. It's a great way to use up scraps. So even though we're stitching just half of the design first, be sure to cover the entire hoop area, since we'll rotate the hoop later to complete the other side. The next spool color will run the tack down stitch to secure the first half of the jumbo hoop batting to the project. Once that's done, I'll go ahead and cut all around the stitch line to trim the excess batting. Now we are going to cover the whole batting area with a piece of pattern fabric of your choice. Make sure that piece of fabric covers the entire hoop area. Keep running your embroidery machine to do the next spool color, that will be the tack down stitch to attach the pattern fabric to the project. The next spool color will stitch a guideline for the first applique area. The next spool color will stitch the hexagon shape guidelines, showing you exactly where to place your applique fabric colors. Inside your folder, you will find a file with the hexagon template for cutting your applique fabrics. Be sure to print that page, then cut out the hexagon shape and glue it onto a piece of cardstock to make it more firm and easier to handle. This simple step will help you trace the shape neatly onto your fabric pieces without the template bending or shifting as you work. Here are my heat and bond fabric leftovers. As you probably seen in my past videos, I always overcut my heat and bond fabrics and save the extra pieces for future projects. Well, this is the perfect example of why I created the heat and bond folder. Just choose the color you want to work with. In my case, I'm going to work with blues and green. Using all these leftover pieces that already have heat and bond on them, simply trace the hexagon shape and cut your applique pieces. As shown in this video, it's a great way to use up scraps and stay organized. Here are all my blue fabric leftovers, and now I'm tracing the hexagon shape onto each using the template. Once they're all marked, I will cut them out, just like I show you in the video. It's such a fun and easy way to give new life to fabric scraps. But just a quick reminder, you can also use a single large piece of pattern fabric instead of individual hexagon pieces. The hexagon shape will still be defined beautifully by the next layer of applique fabric. And if you're curious how that look, stick around until the end of the video. I will show you a topper I made using just one single piece of fabric, no hexagon cuts. It's another super cute option. Now I am going to lay out all the hexagon pieces and begin organizing them into a soft, beautiful blue color combination. I like to play around with the placements until I find a layout that feels balanced to my eye. As you can see, I'm repeating some of the colors, and that's completely fine. Repeating tones actually help tie everything together and give the design a more cohesive and charming look. Don't worry about making it perfect. Just trust your eye and have fun with it. Also, don't forget to remove the paper backing from the heat and bond before placing them into your project. This step is important so that the fabric pieces will fuse properly when we press them down. Once everything is in place, it's going to look lovely. You'll see. Now I am starting to hot press each of the hexagon pieces onto the applique guideline, just like I show you in the video. Don't stress about getting them perfectly placed. Later on, we'll add another applique layer with a thicker hexagon outline that will help define the shapes beautifully. And remember, no need to overheat them. Just a light press with your iron is enough to activate the heat and bond and keep them in place. Take your time and enjoy the process. The last four hexagon pieces, which will blend into the second part of the jumbo hoop design, should only be pressed halfway down. That's because they'll continue into the next hooping. Just slightly secure them for now. You'll see exactly how to do it in the video. This step helps everything line up perfectly when we rotate the hoop later on. Now keep your embroidery machine running for the next spool color. This will do the tack down stitch to secure all the hexagon pieces in place onto your project. It's coming together beautifully. Once the tack down stitch is complete, go ahead and trim just around the outer edge of the square guideline. Only the outer edge, as shown in the video. This helps define the shape and get your project ready for the next step. Now grab a pattern fabric of your choice and add heat and bond to the back of it. Make sure the piece is large enough to cover the entire embroidery area, so it lays nicely over your design. Now we're going to lay down that fabric over the project. Just make sure you have removed the paper backing from the heat and bond first. Then cover the entire embroidery area just like I show you in the video. Now keep your embroidery machine running to stitch the tack down. This step will secure the fabric to the project and also outline the hexagon shapes that will cut out later. I highly recommend using a thread color that matches your fabric. It will give your finished piece a much cleaner and polished look. Now comes the fun part. Once the tack down stitch is done, start carefully cutting all of the hexagon shapes, just like I show you in the video. This will reveal the beautiful blue hexagon fabrics underneath, and the final results are amazing. The cutting is super easy too, since the fabric has heat and bond on it, will help your scissors glide through like butter. As you can see, the blue hexagons are starting to show through, and they're looking absolutely beautiful. I left the bottom 3 hexagons uncut on purpose, since they are the ones that blend seamlessly with the second embroidery file when we rotate the hoop for the next step. Keep running your embroidery machine, and the next spool color will do the blanket stitch applique all around the hexagons and also at the edge of the square shape. I'll cut 2 pieces of the same pattern fabric we used at the beginning of the project. Each piece should be large enough to cover 1/2 of the project when folded in half. Before placing them down, make sure the folded edge meet at the center of the project. Then overlap the second folded piece about 2 inches on top of the first one. This will form the back of your project and will give it a nice clean finish. Now we're going to run our last spool color. It will be a stitch line that will attach all the layers of fabric together. Our first half of the jumbo hoop is finished. Now let's rotate the hoop 180 degrees and open the second jumbo hoop embroidery file. We're going to carefully fold back all the fabric layers. The 2 folded backing fabrics, the heat and bond pattern fabric, the 4 half applique hexagon pieces, and the pattern fabric. Fold them all towards you to expose the cotton batting underneath. This will get us ready to stitch the second half of the design. Run the first spool color over the cotton batting as the video shows. After the tack down stitch is done, we're going to cut all around the stitch line to get rid of the excess of batting. As you can see, I already cut the cotton batting. Now what we're going to do is unfold the first layer of pattern fabric. Run the next spool color to do the tack down stitch to attach the pattern fabric to the project. About the 4 hexagons that you see there, you can hold them back with a piece of tape as we did in this video. The next spool color is going to do the hexagon guidelines over the pattern fabric. Now you are going to do exactly what we did before. Gather your green heat and bond fabric leftovers and trace the hexagon shape using your template. Once they are all traced, go ahead and cut them out just like we show you in the video. This is where the fun really starts again with the fresh pop of green. After all your green hexagon pieces are cut, start laying them down carefully over the stitch hexagon guidelines. Take your time to position them neatly. Just follow the video for placement tips. This will help you build the second half of your topper. I am starting to hot press each of the hexagon pieces onto the applique guidelines, just like I show you in the video. Don't stress about getting them perfectly placed. Later on, we'll add another applique layer with the thicker hexagon outline that will help define the shapes beautifully. And remember, no need to overheat them. Just a light press with your iron is enough to activate the heat and bond and keep them in place. Take your time and enjoy the process. Now keep your embroidery machine running for the next spool color. This will do the tack down stitch to secure all the hexagon pieces in place on your project. Once the tack down stitch is complete, go ahead and trim just around the outer edge of the square guideline. Only the outer edge, as shown in the video. This will help define the shape and get your project ready for the next step. You can see I already trimmed around the outer edge. Now go ahead and unfold the heat and bond fabric and place it carefully over the hexagon applique pieces. Keep your embroidery machine running to stitch the tack down. This step will secure the fabric to the project and also outline the hexagon shapes that we'll be cutting out later. I highly recommend using a thread color that matches your fabric. It will give your finished piece a much cleaner and more polished look. Now comes the fun part again. Once the tack down stitch is done, start carefully cutting all of the hexagon shapes, just like I showed in the video. This will reveal the beautiful green hexagon fabrics underneath, and the final results are amazing. The cutting is super easy too, since the fabric has heat and bond in it. Will help your scissors glide through like butter. Keep your embroidery machine running to stitch the blanket applique. It will outline each hexagon beautifully and also finish the edge of the overall square shape. This step really brings everything together with a quite nice look. Now unfold the last two pieces of fabric, just as I show in the video. This will complete the back of your topper and give it that soft finish look. We are almost done. Run your last spool color. It will be a stitch line all around the topper to secure all those fabrics together. Your project is done. Now unhoop it and carefully cut all around the stitch line, leaving about 1/4 inch seam allowance. Turn your project inside out gently, shaping all the corners to get that clean finish. This topper is generally sized, making a perfect centerpiece for your table. With this cozy texture, cheerful hexagon patchwork, and handcrafted charm, is more than just a mat. It's a beautiful statement piece that brings warmth and colors to any space. Now it's time to give your topper a good hot press. This step is important. Gently press the entire mat to smooth out any wrinkles and help the heat and bond fully activate. This will secure all your applique pieces in place and give your finished project a great look. They turn out absolutely beautiful. Here I'm also showing you another size I stitched. This collection includes 5 different hoop sizes, so there's something for everyone. And yes, regular embroidery hoop sizes are also included. In the next videos, I will walk you through how I create the version using a regular hoop. Hoop 2 layers of tearaway stabilizer and run the first spool color over the stabilizer. Cover the entire guideline area with a piece of cotton batting. In my case, I'm using several small pieces since I'm working with leftovers. Here at the Smart Needle, I love making the most of every bit of material. Keep running your machine to stitch the tack down line, which will secure the batting to your project. Once it's done, carefully trim all around the stitch line to remove the excess of batting. Now cover the whole batting area with a pattern fabric of your choice. Next spool color will do the tack down stitch to attach the pattern fabric to the project. The next spool color will stitch the hexagon applique guidelines, showing you where each hexagon will go. But in this version, I'm using a single piece of pattern fabric instead of individual hexagon pieces. It's a great option if you are short of time or want a simpler finish. I am adding heat and bond to both the pattern fabric and the simple white fabric. The white one will create the hexagon shapes on top, while the pattern fabric will serve as the background. This combo will give you the project that crisp, clean hexagon look without having to cut individual pieces. Lay down your pattern fabric, making sure it fully covers all the hexagon guidelines. Don't forget to remove the paper backing from the heat and bond before placing it. That way it will adhere properly when pressed later on. Keep running your machine to stitch the tack down hexagon lines. This will secure the fabric to your project. Once it's done, carefully cut all around the outer rectangular edge only, just as shown in the video. This step helps define the shape while keeping the inner hexagon intact for the next stage. Cover the entire tack down area with your white fabric. Just be sure to remove the paper backing from the heat and bond first. This layer will create the crisp hexagon shapes in the final look. Keep running your embroidery machine to complete the tack down stitch, which will attach the white fabric securely to the project. I recommend using a thread color that close matches the fabric. This will help create a clean finish look. Now start carefully cutting along the hexagon shapes, trimming only the white fabric as shown in the video. As you cut, the colorful hexagons underneath will be revealed. And just look how beautiful and vibrant they are. It's such a satisfying step that brings the whole patchwork design to life. Keep running your embroidery machine to do the blanket stitch applique around the hexagon shapes and around the perimeter of the applique fabric. Now cut 2 pieces of the same pattern fabric we used at the beginning of the project. Each piece should be large enough to cover 1/2 of the project when folded in half. Before placing them down, make sure the folded edge meet at the center of the project. Then overlap the second folded piece about 2 inches on top of the first one. This will form the back of your project and give it a nice clean finish. Running your embroidery machine to do the last spool color. It will be a stitch guideline all around your project to attach all those fabrics together. Unhook your project and then we're going to cut all around the stitch line, leaving about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Turn your project inside out and take a moment to shape those corners really well. As you can see, this topper is smaller, super cute and perfect for mug rugs, pot holder, or even a small decorative mat. Just beautiful and full of charm. Give your project a good hot press on both sides to activate the heat and bond and set everything in place. I placed a cute coffee cup on top and it looked absolutely adorable, perfect for brightening up your space with a handmade touch. And here they are, from jumbo hoops to regular embroidery hoops, in a range of sizes, perfect for every occasion. These beautiful patchwork toppers make thoughtful gift, great addition to your craft market table or charming decor pieces to match your home color palette. The details are absolutely beautiful. Each stitch adds a special touch that makes these pieces truly one of a kind. Okay everyone, it's sweepstake time. I am giving away 4 tubes of embroidery bobbins in beautiful color assortments, whites, brights, pastel and earthy tones. And that's not all. I'm also including the cutest 4GB USB shape like a glue gun in pink color. Isn't that adorable? To enter, just leave a comment below. That's it. One lucky winner will be chosen at random and I will reply directly to their comment to let them know they have won. Giveaway term: no purchase necessary. This giveaway ends in July 16 Pacific Standard Time. One winner will be selected from the comments below. This giveaway is not sponsored, endorsed, or administered by YouTube. By entering, you are agreed to YouTube community guidelines and the official rule listed in the description box below. Good luck and thank you so much for being part of a smartneedle family. Let's keep creating magic together. Just love how each size turned out, from small mug rugs to big table toppers. They are all so special. It's amazing what a little fabric and love can create. I had so much fun designing these toppers. Thank you so much for stitching along with me. See you next time.